The purpose of this video is to introduce the mole concept and demonstrate mole particle conversions. We have words like pair and dozen that represent specific numbers. Well, mole is just like that. It represents a specific number. We write it in scientific notation because it just makes a lot more sense than standard notation. We call this Avogadro's number. So where did that number come from? If you have 12 grams of carbon-12, there are 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles. And this works for every other element as well. So we can use this to determine the number of particles in a given sample of a compound or element. It's a lot easier to say I have 1 mole than to say I have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles, right? So what is a particle? Just a very small piece of matter. That could be anything from atoms, molecules, formula units, ions, electrons. When we're talking about compounds, there are two types. You have molecular and ionic. If we're talking about molecular compounds, we call it a molecule. But if it's an ionic compound, we either call it a unit or a formula unit. Now, when we convert between moles and particles, we're going to use Avogadro's number. When you convert from particles to moles, we're going to divide by Avogadro's number. But when we convert from moles to particles, we multiply by Avogadro's number. So here's an example. How many moles equal 2.41 times 10 to the 24th atoms of aluminum? Well, you always start by writing what's given. Then you use your conversion factor. We're going from atoms to moles, right? So we divide by Avogadro's number. Notice that an atom is a type of particle, but we labeled it atoms of aluminum. We need to be specific with what type of particle we're converting from. So 2.41 times 10 to the 24th divided by Avogadro's number gives you 4 moles of aluminum. If we cancel our units, atoms of aluminum cancel. That leaves us moles of aluminum. But if we're converting from moles to particles, or in this case, moles to atoms, you write what's given. You're going to multiply by Avogadro's number. So moles of aluminum cancels. You got moles of aluminum on top and bottom. Multiply 4 times Avogadro's number. You end up with 2.41 times 10 to the 24th atoms of aluminum.